everyone, welcome back to another story with J Squared. That means Jaden and Jonathan. Jaden first, then Jonathan. Back to the story. We're so glad we get to keep telling you these stories. We have a great time making them. And today's story might sound a little familiar. Have you ever heard of the story of David and Goliath? Well, from our perspective, we're going to take it back to just before the time that David would become king, which might be a little before the part of the story that you know. We're taking it back to the time when King Saul wasn't doing so well. And the prophet at the time, Samuel, was about to have a conversation with God. So God said to Samuel,
"Go to Bethlehem, and there is a man named Jesse with 8 sons. One of them will be the next king."
"You got it. I'm on my way." Right after I finish this. When Samuel first met the sons, he automatically thought that it would be the oldest son, a guy named Eliab, that would be God's chosen king. "There he is! There's my guy! Big and strong! This is him!" But the Lord said to Samuel,
"Do not look at the way he looks or how big he is. Goliath is not the one I have chosen. The way he looks does not matter to me. I look at the heart."
Well, hey, let's not rush anything here. Look at all these other sons I've got. Eliab's not all I got. Jesse brought more of his sons before Samuel. The pose, the charisma, I think that... Right? Sorry, you're not who we're looking for. What do you mean? Whoa! Yeah! Chosen one, baby! Hear that energy? God, he can really fill a room. Not him either. Sorry, you're great, but you just don't have it. Me neither? You get a guy's hopes out.
Sup? Well, you know I can do a lot of push-ups, and I do Sudoku every day.
A little bit of a different feel to this guy, different vibe. He's smart, does the numbers thing. Not going for him either. God, you are... Sun's going down. Running out of candidates here. Sorry, buddy. Try again next year. Next king? This isn't working for you? But they weren't the ones that God had chosen either. So Samuel asked Jesse, "Jesse, have I met all of your sons?" "Well, I do have one son left. His name is David. He's the youngest. He's kind of small. He's watching over the sheep right now. I'll go get him." And as soon as Samuel saw David, the Lord spoke to him, saying that this was the son that God had chosen. So Samuel anointed David with oil, which was a special way of promising that he would be the next king. And from that day forward, the power of the Lord resided within David. David continued to take care of his father's sheep in the fields, and when he didn't have as much field work to do, he passed the time playing instruments, writing songs, and poems. Meanwhile,
Jaden, we're over here, man. Sorry, we moved the camera.
We're getting really creative with this changing camera angle thing, aren't we?
I know, man. We gotta keep it up.
This process is evolving.
It is.
Wow, we're getting good. Anyways, let me try this again. Meanwhile, Saul was still king through all this, and was ruling a group of people called the Israelites. And David and his family were those Israelites, those people. And they weren't really getting along with a group of people called the Philistines. One of the strongest and the biggest was named Goliath. He was huge. Goliath was covered with armor to protect him and carried a huge spear. Every morning and every evening for 40 days, he shouted to the Israelites in his big, booming voice.
"Hear me, Israelites! I challenge you to find me one man who's brave enough to face me. If he wins, we'll all become your servants. But if I win, You will serve us!
When Saul and all of his men heard this, they were pretty afraid. 3 of these men were David's older brothers. They were some of the only men that were old enough and able to fight. And so when David's father Jesse heard of this, he became very worried for his sons. So he called out to David. So David set off to visit his brothers. As he approached them, he heard Goliath shouting his challenge like he did every morning.
Is no one standing up to this man? If no one else will fight him, then I will go fight this Philistine.
One of the men overheard this and approached Saul and told him what David had said. It would be insane for this inexperienced boy to fight this giant behemoth of a man. So Saul went to David and said,
You can't go out and fight Goliath, David. You're only a boy.
I have had to fight lions and bears to protect my father's sheep. If God kept me safe then, God will keep me safe now.
Once again with the apex predator talk.
Anyways, I can't have the people saying that the king didn't do anything for his bravest warrior.
Saul dressed David in heavy armor to protect him from Goliath.
Finest armor from the finest smiths.
But David took it off. It was so heavy he could hardly walk, and he knew that God would keep him from harm.
I can't do this. Ugh. I'll do it on my own.
Instead, David went to a stream nearby and found 5 smooth stones, put them in a pouch around his waist, and with his sling, he went to Goliath.
5 stones is all I'm going to need to take down this Philistine.
You've got to be kidding me. Is this some kind of joke? You're just a boy. Get out of here before you lose it all. Die.
You fight with a sword. Today I come with God on my side. Today everyone will know who the one true God is in this land.
Goliath didn't care what David said, and he moved closer to attack him. David ran quickly to meet him.
How far away is he? I'm just going to throw a stone.
Reaching into his pouch, he pulled out a stone, put it into a slingshot, and shot it at Goliath. The stone hit him right between his eyes, and he fell with a loud thud. David had done it. He had defeated the giant Philistine. When the other Philistines had seen this, they ran away, and David became a hero to all the people throughout Israel. You see, God doesn't care about how we look. God didn't call upon us for what we look like. God will equip us with what we need. We'll never have to use the words, I'm just a kid, or I'm just one person. You're not just anything. You're so much more. You're a beloved child of God. And God created each of us in a unique and individual way. Who knows? Maybe there's a Goliath in your life that you'll have to defeat. Hopefully it's not a real life giant. Well, that brings us to the end of our story for today, and as always, there's so many more that we could start telling you right now, but we only have so much time. So we'll have to wait for next time. There's always going to be a next time. Until then, be kind, do good, and love your neighbors. Bye-bye. Go again.
All right, cut. Yeah, that's great, guys. Perfect take.
Get out of here. Vineyard boy.
God keep me